I'm actually really pissed off too. And I want this not to be noise in this space. I don't like diluting or sugarcoating the narrative, but I want everybody who is on the crooked path, who might be in alliance with demons, who are feeling uneasy right now, to have access to tap into this aggressive protection spell that I'm doing with King Belial. I genuinely think as a forecast that 2026 is going to be rapid, it's going to go by fast, and it's going to get hysterical while still trying to spin this narrative that everything's fine. And 2027, we're going to start feeling the weight of that. And I would like for my fellow powerful practitioners to start understanding that if we shift our paradigm slowly and we collectively curse these motherfuckers and transmutate their energy into our own prosperity, our own profit, then we have a chance out of this shit, because it doesn't seem like any of our governments want us to be prosperous. But for tonight, we're going to focus on aggressive protection. Please understand that aggressive protection, especially with demonic energies, that could cause isolation if things aren't already hysterical. This right now, this energy that's channeled is specifically for those of you who are feeling the tension and nervous because we have the fucking modern day Gestapo going into private homes, gassing civilian citizens and children and killing children. A bunch of small dick mentality recruits that get slapped on this label of federal agents, so now they think they're big shots, and it's by design. Those sort of men, that's all they're ever going to peak at. We are seeing everybody from every demographic, including disabled people, being ripped out of their vehicles and jumped. I am seeing videos of men who are compliant, American black citizen men, compliant, getting kneed in the face, where 6 or 7 of these fucking cowards are beating them, and lives have been lost. And I don't want you guys falling apart, because I can feel that energy coming in, and you're strong people. You are not weak, and you should not feel ashamed for being afraid right now. So I'm going to shut up now, and we're going to turn to the spell. And thank you for trusting me with your energy, because this was requested and I was already working toward it, so it just aligned. All right, we're going to go get some moringa from my garden. These are my smaller established trees. I can't see shit because I don't have my glasses on. There we go. That should be good. I'm also going to get some galangal too. I use the leaves. These are dying back, which means the rhizomes are going to be ready. I like using the leaves too. This is great for court case work or just justice in general. I'm going to get this big guy right here. This is awkward as fuck doing it with a camera around, and that smells nice. I'm gonna get some of my cranberry hibiscus leaves because I just love using them in general, and I use them for self-love rituals. So I'm gonna use these for self-love and for protection as well for you guys. All right, now we walk. Always walk with your blades down, or even your scissors, okay? Because I see people do this kind of shit all the time, waiting to fucking hurt somebody. We are going to glove up because we're gonna be using some things that can stain, like dragon's blood oils, and then blood root, which I use heavily and I'm actually running out of, and I actually want to grow because the root is so beautiful. First, we're gonna start with some storm water. This is Waxing Moon storm water. I collected this a long time ago. We're gonna put that at the bottom of our spell. That's gonna be kind of like the base. I work heavily with lunar and planetary waters. You don't have to, and I remember somebody asked me, for those of you who are a bit novice, you don't have to collect every moon water. There's some phases where I'm like, pfft. So this is our dragon's blood oil, and this I infused myself. I took dragon's blood resin and put it in a double boiler for about 4 hours on a low temperature, and unfortunately it doesn't infuse the fragrance of dragon's blood, but it works very well for my spell work. It does stain. See, like, I'll show you. And it kind of looks red like blood, so it's really interesting. But I like to use this for my protection. I've been very, very drawn to dragon's blood for decades. So it's one of my favorite ingredients to work with. It's one of my favorite fragrances, but unfortunately, because I do like to infuse resin in olive oil like frankincense and myrrh for fragrance, and dragon's blood it doesn't, and it stains. We're going to take our cranberry hibiscus. I'm gonna move some of this around. I work in counterclockwise currents, by the way. Some people get freaked out about that, like, oh, that's gonna be backwards. Like, some of us operate backwards. That's okay, especially when we work with, you know, undercurrents and stuff like that. So it's just really about your own psychology. And you kind of can make your own rules as long as they really, really resonate with you. And that's just my belief system. So we're gonna add some of that cranberry hibiscus for self-love and protection. And I'm gonna add some moringa because moringa is the tree of life in the Bible. It is actually a complete vitamin, or almost a complete vitamin. I take it as a supplement and it works so fucking good. So I grow it and I sell the seeds. I like to plate my spells like I would a restaurant dish. This is my thing. You don't have to, but it makes me feel happy. We're gonna do the galangal leaf, and I want this on the outside of the bowl. Court case galangal. Great demon offering too. And it's easy to grow. If you live in a hot climate during summer, it's just put it in some dirt. Like, it's just like ginger pretty much. And just leave it alone for a year. And you might think, oh, a year, trust me, I have way too much. I'm probably, when I harvest it, gonna sell some of that too. Storm water infused waxing moon quartz crystals. I charge these in storm water under waxing moon, and I use these for my spell work. We'll use a few Nazar as well. These have been around for 5,000 years in Assyrian times. So, and if you ever look at Saturn under infrared, it looks like a fucking evil eye. We're gonna use a little bit more of this cranberry hibiscus. These juicy leaves, fantastic in salads, pasta salad with some feta. It tastes like cranberry without the sweetness. It literally tastes like a cranberry leaf. I'm gonna add a little activated charcoal. I'm gonna sprinkle in just a little bit in here. I would prefer sprinkling it in a nice container and doing all the aesthetic shit, but we're not doing that right now. I like using activated charcoal for my demonic transmutation money bowls. And I also use it for my new moon waters. I use it for my dark moon waters. I'm gonna give it a stir with the stem. I can even propagate this. I'm giving you all kinds of tips. Sorry, I talk a lot when I'm in a chatty mood. So I want it to look really pretty. I have some onion stars. Where the fuck are they? Now I'm gonna use some onion stars. I punch these out with a star-shaped hole puncher, and it's a fucking pain in the ass, but it's something to keep my hands busy. And they work great in my protection oils. They don't seem to disintegrate. They're just onion peels. Onion peels are great for protection, and they look really pretty. I don't know, I was thinking about selling these as well, because trust me, you're not gonna wanna do these. You should, but you're not gonna want to. All right, so for the candle, I'm gonna do a little bit of oil. This is a certain demon king you might know, very, very familiar with. I'm gonna use some of his, and what I did is these are all different offerings of his throughout the years, and it became kind of a mother sauce, and I keep adding to it over time, and it's his essence. But I'm not going to anoint this too much. This is my aggressive protection with my essence in it. And I use this, and I will say, when you do aggressive protection, that could mean consequences for other people, or they get jarred if they're trying something. It can cause isolation. It did for me, and sometimes that's also aligned with a season in your life if you need isolation, dark night of the soul sort of vibes. And then just for an extra measure, I have this dragon's blood and obsidian infused rice. This is demonic infused consecrated obsidian. I have obsidian chips that I use often that I'll reuse, but these will just be for the rice. I'm gonna actually put this on the bottom. I'm going to anoint this with bloodroot. So be cautious, don't smoke bloodroot. People do use it medicinally. I haven't, so I need to do more research on that, but don't inhale it. Don't use it in an incense blend. And I suggest maybe using gloves when you're handling it, but it's not one of those roots that's like very, very harmful. Some people can get irritation with it. So what I'm doing, it's kind of hard to demonstrate, is I'm adding the bloodroot to my beeswax candle. Sometimes I make my own black beeswax candles. These ones are not homemade or home rolled. So what I'm gonna do after this is some demonic script. So here's the candle. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm gonna remove these gloves, and I'm going to be doing some demonic script for you guys. I'm gonna actually light my candle first, Take your gloves off so you don't set them on fire. And you might think, well, you have to get your preparations. I like having the energy charging and working, and also scripting. And when I script as two energies at once sometimes. And I do that in private a lot. That's looking really good. I'm gonna move this down. I cleanse it, smoke cleanse it, do all of that. I can actually do that now. I use cinnamon, and usually I'll inscribe my cinnamon sticks with demonic script. I just channel it. So sometimes I'll also, for certain things, if I'm writing a letter or doing a petition, I might keep a note of it elsewhere so I can recognize what it was about, but intuitively I know what it is and I'll just channel that. So I don't have like a language in terms of like an alphabet, something like Theban or something like that. My demons have lots of offerings. They have some liquor. I give them smoke. Belial's very, very well taken care of. I feed him every single day and keep him topped off. It should never feel obligatory. If you feel like it's a tedious task, then you don't need to do those things. I actually have a really nice pen for him, but I need ink, and I'm gonna get him some ink, so I'm not gonna use the fountain pen. And you can keep this in your purse too. You might have to write a fucking love letter or something when you're out by yourself. And I don't know, okay, I'll use this side. He's saying that I won't need much. So I'll let you actually see this part if you want. So I'm gonna kind of zone out for a minute and be channeling this. I had this when I had gestational diabetes. I'm not hurting the diabetic community. I use blood in my craft. I don't recommend, for those of you who don't commune with demons, just giving your blood to whoever. We get demonized for this sort of working, and it's potent. It's not anything that has to contribute to self-harm. It's very potent work. Menstrual blood as well is very appropriate, especially if you are charged yourself under whatever moon phase. So I'll be doing some curse work on Tuesday, and I'm expected to be on my cycle, so I'm going to be very potent. What I'm going to do now is I have a black candle, and I'm going to etch some intentions into it, and then I'm going to wax seal this petition. You don't have to do it the way that I do. I'm a chef, so I'm chronically thinking in layers and potency, and it's something that should feel good to do. It doesn't need to be like this big fucking headache. I'm gonna actually use said fountain pen, and that's a bit blasphemous because it's a decent pen, but I'm just gonna etch in some notes for him. And I start from the bottom up. I work very backwards in my craft, especially with demon magic. You do whatever works for you. So I'm just asking him to protect my brothers and sisters on the crooked path from tyranny, from tyrannical abuse, people who are abusing their power, people who are making you feel afraid. That pisses me off. Trust me, I'm fucking furious. I'm gonna have a little smoke though, and I always share cannabis is great for protection and psychic work. I need to get a surface so the wax can fall and it's not directly on my desk for safety reasons and because it's a pain in the ass to clean up. I have this box of moths, so I might just use that. Don't ask, it's a long fucking story. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually light this candle with the spell candle and then go from there. To turn the light off and kind of tidy up a bit. And I want you guys to feel relaxed. I'm sorry for the flare on the camera, on the spell. That drives me nuts as somebody who really wants to get better at cinematography. iPhone's pretty bad for that. So that little flare, people will go, there's a spirit in your, it's not, it's just iPhones. I have like the worst tripod in the fucking history of mankind too. He's also telling me that there are going to be a lot of shifts and peaks of this sort of chaos. And it is going to be the time where if you work on yourself and if you face things in small steps, you're going to start to adjust and adapt and expand. And when you transmute whatever's happening neurotically in the world, I would suggest keeping your head steady and not be vampiric with this, because you can get high off your own supply and it can fuck you up. You will not be affected by this like you think. And it's just really, I don't like that we have to have these conversations, you guys. I want that energy. I don't want these spaces to feel anxious, because guys, I can literally just like fucking bitch about this for 6 hours and still have energy, because I do with my demons. I fucking will sit here sometimes and just, I might as well do the podcast, but I always feel like I have to hold back, and I go, oh, this is too intense, because I say crazy shit, you know, and I hate apologizing for myself. And that's something he's saying too. If you tap into that sort, like transmute this, he's saying, you know that you feel anxious and afraid and worn down right now. Also know that that sector of you that is too much, quote unquote, transfer that energy, transmute that. Because you're not too much. You've just been told by people who are comfortable where they're at in stagnation that you're too much. Because a lot of my audience is very, very intense. And I say this all the time. I'm not interested in fucking blowing smoke up people's asses and doing that. I literally, it's really insane. Like, it's really cool, actually. The small community feels so deep and vast because of your guys' energy. So like, I don't care about fucking numbers, you guys. You guys are really nice and you go, oh, you should do this and this would go viral. I don't care. I like it like this. We need to have some intimacy back on the internet because it's fucking noise out there. So I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. How pretty is that? Storm water. And I'm gonna just tidy up a little bit. Otherwise, I'll have a panic attack with all this mess. I'm sorry, that's how I am. I have an onyx crystal, and it's cleansed or just, you know, consecrated with your energy or maybe your demon's energy. Just place it on your heart chakra. Take some deep breaths. Breathe in through the nose 3 counts and out 4 to 6, or something that's at your comfortable pace if you have respiratory problems. Look into Mullein for that, you guys, okay? Mullein works great, especially for you who are smokers. Smoke some Mullein and drink some red clover, and you'll be like, you'll have like the best, most relieving cough. I need to shut up.